that would not stunt your growth if you're, you know, if you only be hard on yourself when you win or lose. So I hope that kind of makes sense when I say don't let the end result, don't let the end result, what you call it. I keep losing my train of thought. Don't let the end result influence your decision making in terms of, wow, I got that great gank there because it worked. And chances are it's probably not a great gank if you did not change them properly, etc, etc. And as this, you can notice that I'm not even paying any attention of what's going on in any other lane, and you know, because I'm just concentrating on this game. But of course, when I'm in game, I'm, you know, looking at the mini map from time to time whether I should have helped out with top lane. You know, I probably should have TP top by now. I had a TP swirl, but instead I'm actually killing Lesh on the bottom lane. So these are more of the in response decision, or not in response, like the instant decision that you make in game, which you can't really talk about in a replay analysis like this. But I'm gonna touch this on lightly, is that a lot of times in game you're gonna have to make reaction. You're gonna have to do reactions that are gonna based on your gut, because unlike a replay, you can't in game, you can't just pause and be like, well, in this situation I would do this, and in that situation I would do that. In a game, you just gotta make split-second decisions, because you know, the moment that 3 heroes come to top lane to gank your carry, you only have that 1 second, that split second, to make that decision. Hey, should I TP top or should I stay in my lane? And you can see that I'm actually staying in my lane as top lane gets completely owned here. And you know, I'm gonna watch this a little bit here as no, I'm not gonna watch that, excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about in-game split-second decision making later on, because I think from what I remember there's a great example of that. And I'm gonna point out one thing I really need to work on as a player, is that I need to stop being greedy. You can see that I'm very greedy, staying up for the last creep, and because of that, I will pay for it with a death. So, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Definitely not. Definitely not. To stay for that 1 extra creep, and to pay with my life, is it? But again, from what I said earlier, from that Lesh example gank, where yes, they got the gank off, but was that a good gank? No, it was not a good gank. I'm going to use that same example. I was being extremely greedy there, but in my personal opinion, as players get better and better, they get greedier and greedier too. Again, in a very contrived example, let's say you have 2 players that are exactly the same skill, the greedier player is going to have a higher chance of winning, because you're going to try to cut more corners, you're going to try to eke out a little bit, you're going to take higher risk moves. But in generally, if you're a very good player, those high risk moves will pay off. And I'm not trying to justify, well, you know, I died but because I'm being greedy and because I'm super elite pro, you know, I'm not even trying to justify that. I'm saying that I would not let the end result kind of skew my decision making. I always try to be very greedy in a game. I'm gonna stand by my decision to be very greedy. Yes, I'm not gonna have a perfect you know, hero count stats in terms of being greedy and whatnot, because you know, I stay at very low HP to last hit creeps and whatnot. And I think I adopted that playstyle after watching a lot of Merlini replay. If you guys are avid watcher of Merlini, he does that a lot. He stays in lane with very low HP, trying to squeak out a couple more, you know, creep kills or whatnot. But that's besides the point. Again, even though I died bot here because I was greedy, I'm not gonna, you know, say, well, I'll never be greedy again. I'll be extremely you know, safe and whatnot. So one thing I want to point out is that when you're watching a replay, try to identify your own playing style and identify whether you want to change that playing style in terms of whether you think it's a wrong thing or whether you think it's the right thing. You know, a lot of times in terms of playing style, there's really no right and wrong. But it's for you to identify whether you want to continue doing what you're doing here. And as you can see, kind of a 16-minute, kind of a game analysis. I did have a Blink Dagger, I did have an Observer Ward, but one thing I should do is buy a TP scroll. There you go. Oh, I should be buying a TP scroll right now because Good thing to have a TP scroll. Yeah, there we go. Bye to TP scroll. Top lane is kind of getting owned. Again, I'm not gonna talk too much. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about the that gut instinct decision making. So I'm gonna pause right now. You can see I'm already teleporting to the top lane here, and you can see that Crystal Maiden and DK a little bit trouble. And I'm gonna talk about that gut decision making. In that right before I TP here, I only had like 2 seconds to make that decision. Hey, I see like maybe 3 or 4 dots on the top lane. Should I TP now or should I not? Right now, yeah. Let's pause the game and look at the decision making. Hey, Shadow Fiend does not have a TP scroll, so wouldn't able to TP up to the top lane. I think yeah, someone is TPing. No, that's me TPing right now. Someone just TP'd in. I think it was Selena or something. No, someone just TP'd in. So my TP scroll would take about 5 seconds, and anyone else TPing after would take even longer. So if you have a drawn out TP war going on in the top lane, our reinforcement will be extremely low. So far we're outnumbered 4-2 in terms of hero, and even if I come in, it's still we're outnumbered 4-3. Keep in mind that Shadow Fiend does not have a TP scroll to help out either. So is it a good idea to TP? And after looking at every single thing like this, we could you know, say, well, it's probably not the best idea to TP. Yes, you should go top and save your DK. That's really high priority. But if the DK is gonna die anyways, you shouldn't throw away your life in hopes of trying to save the DK. But Luminous makes a mistake of saying, well, you know, my carry is getting ganked, so I'm gonna TP top. And okay, right now I'm not gonna show you how this gank actually worked out. But regardless how this gank worked out, I want you to know that it's probably not the best decision to TP at this point. Knowing, or you know, in terms of your TP, your teammates don't have the TP to also TP with you, and because you know these guys are already in a very dangerous position. It doesn't matter if you know if I unpause the clip right now and show you that, hey, you know, Luminous TP black hole and killed everyone. Kudos, they great TP. Don't let the end to justify your actions. Don't ever let you do that. Always examine your action as if, you know, just right at that split moment, whether that was a good TP or not. I'm gonna unpause and let you guys watch. Again, not too good change done here. And you can see that Crystal Maiden got picked off extremely quickly. They're gonna focus on DK. And there we go. We have a black hole coming in. DK is gonna turn attack. Should be attacking CK instead. But yeah, now switch the attack to CK, and CK gets more stun here, but CK will be picked off here. But again, the final result is that all the hero at top lane was picked off. So again, I want to point out is that I don't want you guys to look at that end result and be like, well, that was a bad TP because all y'all died. I want you guys to look at that as a bad TP even before the end result. Again, teammate did not have TP to follow up, and you know things were on cooldown. I think Lina was, you know, dead at that point, so we would have fought 4v3 regardless. You know, so that was not a good TP. And earlier I was talking about that kind of gut instinct. You notice how, you know, we paused the replay and examined everything in detail. We looked at the Shadow Fiend, we looked at the 4 hero at top lane, we looked at Lina was dead, yada yada, you know, all that stuff. In a game, you simply don't have that time to be like, okay, let me pause and look what's going on. You simply don't have that time. So really, also when you're watching replay, ask yourself, because in a game you make so many gut decisions. You make a lot of decisions that are based on split second. Ask yourself before, you know, not taking in account of you know, end results. Ask yourself whether those mistakes, or ask yourself whether those decisions are the right decisions. Again, you know, don't be like, well, I got a kill here, so that must have been the correct decision. Don't let the end result to justify, you know, anything that's happening. Ask yourself whether those decisions are right and wrong. So that will actually make you a better player in terms of improving your quote-unquote gut feelings. A lot of pro players are pro because they have kind of a Dota sense, if you will. You know, if 2 players are exactly the same, the one that are going to be winning more game is because they have better Dota sense. And that teleportation on top lane was a good example to show that, hey, in that particular example, Luminous does not have good Dota sense. He got tricked into the, well, Carry was in trouble. I need to bail him out. So ask yourself a lot of questions, and I'm gonna have a lot more of these, quote unquote Dota sense. I'm gonna ask you guys, hey, is that a good decision? Is that a bad decision? And again, don't let the end to justify the mean here. Again, ask captain, hey, I noticed we're in great advantage here. Push down the mid tower. Why don't we push the bottom tower as well? Why not? Hey, I'm gonna pause here and ask you guys whether that's a good decision or not. Of course, we picked off 4 heroes. We're in a humongous lead in terms of the momentum. We picked off mid heroes. I was warding like crazy. I have 4 wards on me. I placed 1 there. I'm gonna be placing a lot of wards here as well. You can notice that I only have 300 mana left. Let's see. Dark Hole, Black Hole is not on cooldown. Lina is Shadow Fiend is pretty low on mana. Shadow Fiend, I can't tell if these. I think Shadow Fiend is on cooldown. Lina fairly healthy on the mana. DK pretty low on the mana. And as we look at more and more things, especially if Sentinel is coming alive fairly quickly. Tree and Ult is probably on cooldown. As we compile and more data here, quote unquote data, you know this push at bot lane is not a very good idea, especially the creep boys here. Need to journey a long time to even push this back. So as we compile more and more data, we realize that this push is probably not the best of idea. And it's those gut instincts that you should make, well, not the best of ideas, so maybe we shouldn't push. And as you see yourself making more and more of these gut mistakes, if you will, the next time you're in game, you would think to your situation before, like, hey, I made that mistake before, so maybe I should learn from that and not make this mistake again. And try not to ignore what I'm saying by watching this pretty teamfight battle, as you can see that Scourge team getting completely decimated. Demon killed the line here. And we're going to end up losing 4 heroes, losing both the Crystal Maiden and the DK, with myself only porting itself. So I clearly said, hey guys, let's push bot. And because that one mistake from the captain, I got 4 heroes killed. So as opposed of being in a healthy lead, I think it was 14-13 at before, like a pretty tight game. I just made my team to lose that lead that we had. So be extremely hard on myself. I think probably because we lost this game, this might be this in fact is part of the reason why we lost the game. And again, pretty blink action. I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back. Yeah, okay. Yeah, really hard on yourself. I'm really hard on myself right now, and I remember I was extremely frustrated after losing this game, because I feel like the reason that we lost this game is not because we got outplayed by Sentinel, but because a lot of it is really poor decision making from my part, because I'm the captain. So I'm really watching this game for self improvement and whatnot, and I'm kind of telling you guys how I would personally watch this game, and hopefully you guys could watch your replay kind of in more or less the same way, in terms of asking yourself question whether it's the best correct choice, right choice, yada yada. And here I'm gonna pause it once again. Is it the right choice to push now? We ganked off a hero that was the line. We're in not a bad position. Again, probably the Tree and Ult is still not cooldown. Black Hole is still there. This push is a lot more on an even standpoint as opposed to this push here. This push was just really bad. This push we're up 4 heroes to 5, despite it's really early game, so the line will come back extremely quickly. I have to say, this push looks more legit. Now again, I don't want you to look at this fight later. I'm gonna ask you guys right now, do you guys even think this is a good push? If I'm paused right now and you see a perfect Black Hole getting a triple kill, you guys would say, yeah, that's a great push, good job, Luminous. Or if I'm paused right now and I see Trent come in and a team wipe for Scourge, you guys would be like, man, Luminous, you're a noob, this is a bad push. Again, I don't want you guys to use them end to justify the meme, because when you're playing a game, you don't know what's gonna happen. You gotta make the decision right then and there. So you gotta really train yourself to think to kind of think with your gut instincts,